Take your gaze a little bit higher every time you breathe in. Long breath out, curling tailbone towards forehead. Couple more here. Long breath in. Long breath out. This time, if you'd like to, you can kind of press right to left a little bit, side to side, stretching into the spine. Good. One more. Long breath in. Long breath out. Come back to your neutral spine. As you're breathing in, reach your right hand up, look up, broaden across your chest. Breathing out, bring it back to the ground. Take a breath in, reach your left hand up, look up, stretch into the chest. Exhale, bring it back down. One more on each side. Inhale, reach up, look up. Exhale, ground it down. Inhale, reach up, look up. Exhale, come back down. Working our way into puppy pose, start to walk your hands forward and let your heart hammock down towards the mat. Now, when you're first starting in puppy pose, you might just bring your forehead to the mat. Over time, as your chest gets a little bit closer to the ground, you have the option to take your chin to the mat. If you're keeping your gaze between your thumbs, let your forehead stay relaxed. You can even keep the eyes closed. Take a couple deep breaths. With every breath out, let the heart drop down a little bit more. Good. Start to press back into your hands. Walk them back underneath your shoulders. Stretching your right leg out to your right side. Make sure your foot's in line with your left knee and parallel to the side of your mat. Roll the outer edge of your foot down to the ground. Come down to your forearms. Take a big breath. Good. Come back up to the hands and come all the way up to stand on your left knee. Open your arms in a T. Take a breath in, reach your hands up. As you exhale, right hand to the outer right leg. Stretch long into the left side body, maybe looking up. Take a full breath here. Inhale, come back up. Left hand down to the ground. Spiral that right arm forward. And you can keep your heart facing forward, your gaze facing forward, or start to revolve open towards the sky. Take a big breath. Stretch from your right toes to your right fingertips. As you exhale, bring it back around to your hands. Foot, again, parallel to the side of your mat. Start to walk your hands forward into that puppy shape with your upper body. You can just bring your forehead to the mat. Right foot still pressing down to the ground. Walk your hands back underneath you. Bring that right knee in. Stretch your left leg out to your left side. Make sure the left foot's parallel to the side of your mat and revolve the knife edge of the foot down to the ground. Come down to the forearms. Take a deep breath. Come back up to the hands. Make your way up to stand on your right knee. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, left hand to the outer left thigh. Stretch long into the right side body, maybe looking up. Take a full breath. Inhale, come back up. Right hand down to the ground. Spiral your left arm forward and then over the left ear. Again, you can keep your heart and your gaze facing forward or start to spiral it open towards the sky. Take a big breath. Stretch from your left toes to your left fingertips. As you exhale, bring your hands back to tabletop. Keep your left foot where it is, and you might readjust it so it's again parallel to the side of your mat. Start to walk your hands forward, coming into puppy pose with the upper body. Let the heart drop down. Take a couple deep breaths. Start to press into your hands, come back up. Tabletop arms. Bring that left knee in. Take a breath in, reach your right hand up, look up. As you exhale, thread the needle, come all the way down to the right shoulder. Let your right ear rest on the ground. You can spider your left fingertips forward and get a big stretch into your left side body. Bring the left hand back in front of you. Press down to come out. Take a breath in, reach up, look up. Exhale, bring it down. Take a breath in, reach your left hand up, look up. Exhale, thread the needle, come all the way down to the left shoulder, left ear. If you'd like to, spider the right fingertips forward. Get a big stretch into your right side body. Take some deep breaths. Right hand back in front of you. Press down to come out. Take a breath in, reach up, look up. Exhale, ground it down. Good. Curl your toes underneath you here. Start to lift your knees, but before you even think about straightening your legs, let your head drop down between your arms and glide your hips up and back. Keep the knees pretty bent, almost like you're sitting in a chair. Take a big breath into your chest, your shoulders. If you'd like to, start to pedal your feet out one at a time. Sinking the heels down. Maybe even shifting your hips side to side. As you inhale, round forward to high plank. Exhale, bend the knees, glide your hips up and back, let the head drop down. Inhale, round forward to high plank. Exhale, bend the knees, glide the hips up and back. Inhale, round forward. Exhale, glide it up and back. Take 3 deep breaths here. Maybe sinking the heels down, maybe keeping the knees a little bent. It's up to you. Start to tiptoe your way to the top of your mat. Step one foot in front of the next, as slowly as you can. When you get to the top of your mat, bring your big toes to touch. Leave some space between the rest of your feet. Take a breath in, half lift. Press your palms to your shins. Extend through the crown of the head. As you exhale, bend your knees so you can drape your belly over the tops of your thighs and let your head go. Again, take a breath in, half lift, palms to shins, broaden the chest. Exhale, bend the knees, drape your belly over the tops of your thighs, let your head go. One more time, inhale, halfway lift, palms to shins, extend. Exhale, bend your knees, let your head get heavy. Take a big breath into your upper back. Open your mouth, sigh it out. Inhale, halfway lift. This time as you exhale, step your left foot back. So low crescent, hands framing the right foot, rock it back and forth. Really just try to wake up your left ankle bones, your toes, your calf muscles. Sink your back knee to the ground. Take a breath in, sweep your hands forward and up. Untuck the toes. Start to press the top of that left foot down. Press your left shin bone down as much as you can. You might rise up a little bit. Keep pressing it down, activating the front of the left thigh. Take one more breath in. As you exhale, see if you can sink in a little bit more. Last breath here if you'd like to. Look up between the hands. Exhale, bring it down. Inhale, step your left foot forward. Halfway lift. Exhale, step your right foot back. Hands are framing your left foot. Rock it back and forth. Wake up all the ankle bones, the toes, the calf muscles. Good. Sink your back knee to the ground. Take a breath in, sweep your hands forward then up. Untuck the back toes. Start to press that right foot and the top of your shin bone down to the ground. As much as you can, you might start to lift up out of your lowest lunge. Keep actively pressing down here so you're really feeling the front of the right thigh. Softening that press, see if you can sink in a little bit more. Take a deep breath. Last breath in if you'd like to. Look up between your hands. Exhale, bring it down. Good. Curl the back toes under, lifting your knee. Walk your way towards the back of your mat. Sink into a low skandasana here. Let your left toes point up. Flex your left foot. dig your heel down and drag it back towards you a little bit. So we're trying to activate the inner left thigh by dragging that heel back towards us. Your right heel could be lifted or grounded, so whatever feels best for you. Press into the right leg, lift it up, sink towards the front of your mat into the left leg. Let your right toes point up, flex your right foot, dig your heel down, drag it back towards you. Take a couple deep breaths. Really working into those inner thighs. Press into the left leg, pausing in the center here. Fingertips underneath your shoulders, parallel your feet. Take a breath in, half lift, broaden the chest, take your gaze a little bit forward. As you exhale, fold all the way in, let your head go. Take a big breath into your upper back between the shoulder blades, fill it up with air. Open your mouth, sigh it out. Good, one more big breath like that. Sigh it out, let your head get heavy. Good. Inhale, half lift. Walk your way back towards the front of your mat. Pressing into your palms, step both feet back. We're gonna lower all the way to the belly. Bring your forearms to the mat, finding a Sphinx pose. So the elbows are directly underneath the shoulders, palms facing down, fingers spread wide. You want to squeeze your shoulder blades together here to lift the heart, broaden across the chest, pull your shoulders back and down. Now notice if your chin wants to jut forward here, see if you can tuck it back a little bit to lengthen the back of the neck. Tops of the feet are engaging with the ground. Take a big breath in and out. Let yourself relax down. Moving into a shoulder opening here, take your right arm out into a cactus shape. Make sure that your right elbow is in line with your shoulder and not below it. So palm down, fingers spread wide. Rolling to the outer right hip, reaching that left foot just behind us. Left palm or fingertips are just tented on the ground, supporting, maybe pressing a little bit. Take 3 deep breaths. So you want to really use your breath here to enhance the stretch into the right side of the chest, the right shoulder. Roll it back to the belly, setting up for the second side. So left elbow in line with the left shoulder, palm down. Roll to the outer left hip, reach your right foot just behind you. Let that right knee start to point up towards the sky. Right palm or fingertips in front of your chest. Take some deep breaths. Again, let your breath enhance the stretch into the left side of your chest, your left shoulder. Good, roll it back to the belly. Pressing up to your knees. Curl your toes underneath you. Take a breath in, open your arms out wide into a T. As you exhale, right arm over left, wrap your hands behind you, round in. Take a breath in, open the arms. Exhale, left arm over right, wrap your hands behind you, curl in. Take a big breath in, open the arms. Exhale, right arm over left, finding eagle arms this time, half or full eagle arms. Take a breath in, stretch your fingertips up, look up. Exhale, curl your elbows in towards your navel, rounding into the back. Take a breath in, stretch the fingers up, look up. Exhale, curl in, elbows to navel. Inhale, unwind the arms, open your arms out wide. Exhale, left arm over right, eagle arms, half or full. Take a breath in, stretch your fingers up, look up. Exhale, curl the elbows in, looking in. Take a breath in, stretch up, reach up, look up. Exhale, elbows into the belly, rounding into the back. Take a big breath in, open your arms out wide, lift the chest. Good. Come to sit on your heels, knees out wide. So the knees could be up to mat's width distance apart. Try to keep the big toes touching. We're sitting on the heels here. This is kind of a wide knee variation of hero's pose, so we don't have to sit all the way inside of the feet. It can be a little less intense for the feet and ankles. Start to work your way back to your hands. Now it's perfectly okay to stop anywhere along the way here if you're feeling the stretch, if you're really feeling your feet or your ankles. If you feel free to, continue back to your forearms. Let's see if you can lift your hips here, curl your tailbone a little bit more forward and set them back down. Chest lifted. Take a big breath. You're more than welcome to stay on the forearms. If you feel free to, you can come all the way back to lay and reach your arms overhead, grabbing opposite elbows. Whether you're still on your hands, your forearms, or laying all the way back down, take a couple deep breaths. Start to make your way back up to the forearms if you're laying all the way back down, back up to the hands. Good. Roll forward, finding a high plank. Bring your right leg forward, set up for a one-legged pigeon pose. Scoot your left leg back as much as you comfortably can. Now, the most important thing we want to do here is get our hip points to square to the front of our mat. So instead of just sinking down as much as you can, draw your outer left hip forward, your outer right hip back. Squeeze the left knee towards the right so you're lifting up off the ground. Squeezing the legs together. Keep lifting through the chest. Take a deep breath, maybe look up a little bit. As you exhale, you can relax the legs, maybe scooting your left leg back a little bit more. Come down to the forearms. You can pause on the forearms and stay here. You can come down further, maybe resting your head on a block or on your hands. Even in your forward fold here, try to continue to pull that outer left hip forward and the outer right hip back. Make sure you're using your breath, not only visualizing breathing all the way down into your hips, but with every breath in, filling your back body like a balloon in every direction. Long breath out, just letting go. Breathing in to fill up, creating some new space. Breathing out to decompress. Good, one more deep breath. Awesome, work your way back up to your hands. Curl those back toes under. Lift the right leg, step back to high plank. Pull your left leg forward, setting up for the second side. Scoot your right leg back as much as you comfortably can. Now, thinking about getting your hips to square to the front of your mat. So instead of just sinking all the way down, draw your outer right hip forward, your outer left hip back. It should feel like squeezing your right knee towards your left. So keep squeezing your legs together till you start to lift from the ground. Your legs are really active right now. Squeezing, squeezing, squeezing. Lift the chest. Keep it active. Take one more breath in. Maybe lift the gaze a little bit. As you exhale, start to relax that a little bit. You might scoot the right leg back a little further. Come down to the forearms. You're more than welcome to stay on your forearms, or you can work a little deeper into your fold. See if you can rest your head on a block or on your hands and focus on your breath. Now, even in this fold, you can continue to think about drawing your outer right hip forward, your outer left hip back. Use your breath to unlock the muscles, working deeper into the pose. Breathing in all the way down to the hips, and also filling the back body with your breath. With every breath out, just letting something go. breathing in, expand in every direction. Breathing out, just decompress. Good, at least one more deep breath. Awesome. Start to come back up to your hands. Curl your back toes underneath you. Lift that left leg. Step back to high plank. Bring your knees to the ground and come to seated. You can face the side of your mat. Feet together, knees out wide. You can pull your feet in a little closer to you or scoot closer to the feet. Grab a hold of the feet, thumbs at the soles. Take a breath in, lift and broaden your chest. As you exhale, start to fold forward. Hinging at the hips, fold as far forward as you can, and then start to round into the back. Drop your head, bring your gaze in towards your belly. Visualize breathing all the way down into your hips, your inner thighs, your knees. Take at least 2 more here. Good. Inhale back up to seated. Taking your legs out wide into a straddle seat. Press into your hands, lift the pelvis, see if you can tilt your sit bones back. Do it on both sides. Lift the pelvis, tilt your sit bones back. Good. Walk your left hand over towards your left ankle. Take a breath in, reach your right hand up. As you exhale, start to stretch over to the left side. If it's comfortable for you, you could bring your forearm down and reach for the foot. You can also always use a strap if you'd like, but I don't want to worry too much about that here. So just think about lengthening into the right side body. Take one more full breath. You might be turning your gaze up. Inhale back up to seated. Walk your right hand over towards your right ankle. Take a breath in, reach the left hand up. Exhale, stretch over to your right side, lengthening into your left side body. You could stay here if it's comfortable for you to come down to the right forearm. Maybe reach for that foot. Again, don't get too worried about whether you're grabbing the foot or not. Just focus on lengthening into the left side body. You could start to turn your gaze up towards the sky, but even then your eyes might close. Focus on your breath. Inhale back up to seated. Make sure your feet are still flexing. Squeeze your thigh muscles. Take a breath in, lift your chest. As you exhale, start to walk your hands forward. Now, you can stop here on your hands. You could come down to your forearms and stop there. So feel free to stop anywhere along the way here. If it's comfortable for you, keep going. There's the option to rest your head on your hands or on a block. The feet, the legs are still active. Take at least 3 deep breaths here. Good. Come back up to the hands. We've been in a pretty deep stretch here, so if you'd like to, use your hands to lift the leg, bend that knee. Turn to lay down here. Glue your feet to the mat, reach your hands forward, start to curl your tailbone forward as you slow-mo roll all the way back and down. Let your arms just rest at your side for a moment and bring your feet in a little bit closer. Dip your knees side to side. Make sure that your knees are hips width distance apart over your feet, over your ankles. Take a breath in, stretch your arms long, reach through your fingertips. As you exhale, bring your hands down at your sides. Press into your feet, lifting your hips into bridge pose. You can keep your hands where they are or interlace your fingers underneath your back. Squeeze the shoulder blades together and maybe even come up a little higher onto the arm bones. Now bring your awareness back to your feet and legs. Press more into your feet. Squeeze your glutes to drive the hips that little tiny bit higher. Take at least 3 deep breaths here. Really opening into those hip flexors and quads. Good. Bring it all the way back down to the ground. Take a breath in again. Stretch your arms long to the back of the room. Reach. Exhale, relax your hands down. Now imagine you're holding a box between your hands here and start to rock your knees in towards your chest. We're gonna get enough momentum to rock the feet all the way back. And you've got 2 options. You can bring your hands to the lower back to support, or bind your hands, interlace the fingers and stretch your hands down towards the ground. The feet, the legs are together. Take 3 deep breaths here. Good. You can support your hips and lower back as you come back down to the ground. Cactus your arms out at your sides. Lift your knees over your hips. We're going to take our legs over to the left first. You might give them a little shift to the right. Take both legs all the way down. You can lift your head and turn your gaze to the right. Take 3 deep breaths here. With your next breath in, bring the legs back up. Rock and roll your hips a little bit more to your left. Bring your legs down to your right. You can lift your head, turn your gaze to the left. You might be letting your eyes close, starting to bring the energy levels down. Take at least 3 deep breaths. With your next breath in, rock your legs back up. Bring your hips back in line with your spine. Feet to the ground. Just give them a little press to lift the hips and set them back down. Bring your knees in towards you. Grasp the outer edges of your feet. Draw your legs out wide into happy baby. You can rock side to side here. Bring your right heel in towards your glute. Start to straighten that left leg. Your left leg might be up here when you're trying to straighten it. It might be down, closer to the ground. It's gonna look different for all of us. Bending both knees, come back through happy baby. Bring that left heel in towards your left glute. Straighten your right leg out long. Keep that right foot active. Again, your right leg might be up here, or it might be closer to the ground, drawing it out wide. Take a deep breath. Let both knees bend, happy baby. If it's comfortable for you, try to straighten both legs, drawing the legs out wide. Even here, you can rock side to side. Come back through that happy baby. So bend both knees, bring your feet together, knees out wide, pull your feet in towards you, and use your elbows to press your knees away from you. Good, release everything. Arms out at your sides, feet about mat's width distance apart. Your arms could be kind of cactus here or laying out